Yeah, hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Hello, all. Welcome to Eva's weekly webinars, and I'm glad to confirm that today is going to be an exciting live webinar. And well, we started off with this initiative at Eeva Patent Services, mainly who's your trusted partner in patent law, mainly, and we specialize in providing expert advice and kind of services which startups require, mainly in business. So we are here to protect everybody's innovative ideas in intellectual property, and we'll also our team at EVA is navigating the complex world of patents and safeguarding everybody's future for success. So we've been in the business for over 13 plus years, and I'm Raj, your host for today's webinar. We have our speaker, Mr. Venkat Sudhir Kohli. So, in short, uh, we've filed thousands of patents, like the number is beyond 2,500 plus in patent applications at IPO. Um, and there are more than 20,000 trademark applications which had been handled since 2012. So we've been working in this space with 25,000 illustrations or patent illustration jobs, and we've supported many individuals, lots of inventors, and with respect to the startup world or MSMEs in India, the numbers have crossed thousands plus, like 5,000 plus so far. I'm sure the number is hitting somewhere close to 10,000. So today's guest speaker for this particular exciting webinar is Venkat Sudhir Kohli. He's one of the project leaders, uh, played enormous role in the healthcare space. He's a Scrum Master with over 18 years of versatile experience in project management. People who are into PMP would know this. He worked on agile methodologies like Scrum and Kanban, test management, and quality assurance. Um, so again, things have become much easier with the power of AI tools right at our fingertips. Sudhir sir had led many transformational programs. So let's hear it from sir because he has got amazing domain knowledge in not only in terms of healthcare, in terms of banking, finance, or insurance. He's also certified test specialist in functional and automational tools with domain-specific certification. So welcome, Sudhir sir. Over to you. Um, and I'm glad and excited for this particular webinar. Thank you, sir. Over to you.
Thanks, Raj. That's a well determined introduction, very pleasing. Uh, yeah, it's a pleasure for attending this webinar. Welcome everyone on board. Let me share my screen. So in the
Yeah, sure, sir.
meanwhile, yeah, I have 2 decades of IT experience, starting from development phases till testing phases, entire life cycle.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Yeah,
You should be able to share the screen.
right.
And I still remember I mean, we were all guests in one of the BNI meetings in 2016, I suppose. That was the memorable picture which I still recall when you were representing Eva in the BNI meeting, which is still on our Facebook. So glad to meet you again virtually. Yeah, we can see the screen, sir. I see that.
Yeah, sorry, I just lost connection. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir, you are audible. And I guess, yeah, we can see the shared screen now.
Okay, just a minute.
Pro- Probably we'll make it full, the speaker presentation mode.
Okay.
Yes, sir, this is great.
You are seeing the presentation mode, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
We are on full screen. Yeah, over to you.
Okay. Yeah. Again, once again, welcome everyone for taking your time. and participating in this session. So this today's session is about software testing and how the AI is being revolutionized in STLC. So this is kind of more specific, or I would say like people who are willing to take up the roles of QA, quality assurance roles in IT. It's going to be a very helpful and prospective session for such candidates. Okay, but otherwise, this is more aligned or inclined towards the quality aspects of any IT product. Okay, to that matter, to any product.
Okay.
Uh, all right. So traditionally, testing plays a very pivotal role in the quality of software development or IT projects. So as we know, the IT expenditure has increased over a period of time. Okay, the importance also keep on rising as we move on. Okay, as the year on year passes, there are a lot of new technologies, techniques being introduced into the market. Similarly, the focus on customer centric, being customer centric and customer focused, were never a last aspect or a least aspect. So to keep up the quality of any project or product, software testing has been playing a pivotal role in throughout the IT industry or in the world. So, to that matter, just giving some background on traditional limitations or challenges we used to have in testing. Okay, it is a very labor-intensive tasks, and a lot of human attention and precision is required to ensure the quality of the software delivered is 100% error-free and certified quality. So as the traditional challenges like bottleneck in terms of time, volume of turnaround is becoming a challenge now. Barring software testing, every other field, like for example in software development, has been accelerated. Like people who can code in a week span of time are now able to code in a couple of hours with the AI. Okay, with the introduction of DevOps, Agile advancement, and CI/CD, and AI being part of every other life cycle of software development. Similarly, it is, at the verge of need to bring AI into the software testing as well, which will actually make the speed along with delivering with quality. Okay, so AI is the bridge between rapid delivery and uncompromised quality. In today's session, we would like to explore how AI is becoming the co-pilot for testers, not just replacing or not by replacing the quality analysts, but actually in turn making the QA's role more strategic and impactful. This is very important aspect. There is a fear factor in the world, like with the introduction of AI, we may lose job or insecurity. But rather, I would put it in the other way, like it's actually helping, assisting the QAs to make their job more effective. Okay. To that end, I would like to quote one statement like AI is not a threat; it's a toolkit. And in testing, it's the sharpest tool we have currently. All right. Just moving on to today's agenda. These are the brief concepts which we will be covering in next journey of our session. So we will begin with the basics of software testing lifecycle, and then identify long-standing challenges which we have faced in traditional methodologies or methods. Then we will get into the core of the session. That's like how is AI disrupting each phase or benefiting each phase of STLC. So STLC is nothing but software testing lifecycle. Similar to software development lifecycle, this was introduced and it is already a common, well-known nomenclature in the market. So we'll walk through some of the real-time examples, okay, challenges and benefits what were materialized with the introduction of AI in our session. So, Raj, is there any forum where a team can ask questions and we will take it up towards the end?
Yeah, sure, sir. I'll facilitate the same. I'll drop in the feedback link,
Okay, sure.
wherein they can also submit the questions. As of now, I have requested everybody to engage in the chat room, or probably unmute and speak or ask any questions so that it's engaging. I'll also drop in a link where they can put in their questions.
Sure, yeah, that helps. Thanks. But I'm not looking at the chat. It's not visible to me.
Okay,
In case if
sure,
any
sir. I
questions
mean,
are there, feel free to stop me.
yeah, sure, sir. I'll do that. Thank you.
All right. So the end goal of today's session, by the end of this session, okay, we all will understand what's the theory and what are the actionable insights that we could take back to our teams. Okay. All right, team. Moving on. Yeah, this is the introduction slide. Intentionally, it was kept simple, okay, to make it more relevant and um, more relatable to our concept. So these are the six phases, sequential phases, I would say, starting from requirement analysis, test planning, test case design, test environment setup, test execution, and the closure phase is test closure. So all these six phases happen religiously in any software testing project. Okay, more or less. Okay, even with the introduction of agile, though it's debatable, these are pretty much covered, and this is a traditional way of cycle to upkeep the quality of deliverables. So each of these pages requires precision, collaboration, and often repetitive tasks are included. So as we discussed, as we know by looking at this intensity, it's like more labor intensive and a lot of precision. Human attention is always required. Okay, just to mention about a scenario, let's assume we are in a sprint review and a product owner drops a last minute user story. What happens is the QA scrambles around to write test cases, understand requirements, and set up test environments. Right. This is a everyday feedback we observe. Okay. I think I'm sure a lot of you might be familiar with this scenario. Uh, but if you look at each phases, represents a, I mean, this is the example of how intense to is the process. Okay, that's the scenario I would like to make it here. But each of these phases represent a ripe in opportunities for usage of AI, especially in automating what's repeatable and analyzing what's complex. So we'll come to each phases as we move on. Yeah, these are some of the frequently noticed challenges. Okay, these are not limited to only these challenges, but we could put together some of the most frequently observed or noticed challenges. Okay, this is reality we have dealt with. So starting from late stage defect detection, okay, which always is a key problem. Okay, uh, we all have been read and understood by now. Like the earlier the defects are found, the lesser the cost intensity, because the level of involvement of human interaction or systems in place are always cost effective if we found the defect in early stages. So that's another challenge, like late stage defect detection, manual errors, duplicate efforts, or missing or slippage of edge scenarios or out of box scenarios. Okay. The other challenge we could see is environments, unoptimized environments, or delay in configuring proper environments right in the first place. Are all these the challenges? And flaky test cases, okay, incomplete, inconsistent test cases is also leads to leakage into production bugs. Okay, I would like to put together one of the real-time scenario which happened in one of the releases. Like, let's say, for example, a regression release has caught around approximately 70% of the bugs, which is leaving 30% leakage. So after post analysis, root cause analysis performed, what we found is 15% of the missed bugs are found from the due to lack of proper test data setup. Okay, the rest is all manual oversight or human oversight in test case design and coverage. So these are all practical scenarios, which more or less how much stringent the team principles and process are there. There's still leakage to some minimal effort. So this is not typically a skill issue; it's about a scale issue. Human testers can't cover infinite combinations or analyze logs at machine speed. That's where we all could see the benefit of bringing AI into picture or usage of AI into the STLC phases. All right, I'm just moving on. So here we have we can notice AI as a tireless assistant. So how could we use AI in software testing? Is like let's treat it as an assistant to us to speed up the job which QA or testers have been doing in today's world. Okay, how it does is like it actually reads the deck requirements, compares them with past tickets or issues, and suggests the edge case scenarios or untouched scenarios which humans could not figure it out, or end-to-end scenarios. So all these are benefits or advantages of using AI. So AI here is a learner. So the more accurate data we feed into AI, the better results one can benefit out of this AI systems. So AI does not need rest, as we all know, like humans. It does not forget patterns and is constantly improves based on the data being feed into it. Large and more accurate data we feed in, the better the AI can outperform, and it consistently improves. So it's not a stagnant way of measuring. So it's an incremental and improvmental methodology it adopts to. So AI can analyze previous bugs, understand patterns in test failures, and even recommends test strategies. The goal of AI is not to eliminate, as we all discussed, eliminate the tester, but to actually to elevate the role of QA and importance in upbringing the quality of the product. Any questions so far, team? All right. Moving ahead.
No, sir. As in, I don't see anybody put in the chat any question yet.
Sure, Raj. Thanks. Just checking.
Yeah.
All right. So here are the benefits of STLC. Most of them we already spoke through and covered, but these are in brief, high level. But some of the practical examples are data matrix. What speaks or what we could gather is like test case generation time has reduced to 40 to 60% with the introduction or adopting to AI, and the releases have observed 30 to 50% faster schedule. I mean, delivering early or reducing the release schedules to 30 to 50%. And there is significant reduction in flanky test case test cases. The quality of test case have improved drastically. And the other byproducts or advantages of it is like higher test coverage, especially in edge scenarios. So let's think about it. Like AI can consume production logs, identify untested paths, and suggest new test cases based on real world scenarios. Okay, something which would take I mean enormous amount of human productivity in absence of AI. So it is doable even by human intervention, but it may consume in terms of days, weeks, and the span will increase, obviously. So now with the help of AI, we are saying like it can be done or could be done within a fraction of minutes. Moving on, Tim. Okay, so here starts like at each stage of STLC, how AI and what AI methodologies or techniques can be used. So there is a small representation on the right top right corner, which highlights like at what stage of STLC we are, so that you all can easily relate to. So right now we are in AI in requirement analysis. The same is been highlighted on the right corner, just for better relation only. So requirement analysis is the foundation. If that itself is very shaky and not stable, everything else collapses. Okay? So it's very important for us to make sure the requirements are thoroughly reviewed and clearly documented without any by avoiding any ambiguities. Okay, requirements can never be ambiguous, and requirements should always be following clear targeted objective. Okay, it can't add words like my system should perform well. Okay, it has to be quantifiable. Okay, what do we mean like well, or my system should respond fast. Okay, all these requirements are ambiguous requirements. We should quantify like my system should be able to respond within less than a second or less than, to highlight ambiguous requirements and even suggest acceptance criteria. All right. So this is today's leverage. How we can leverage AI in requirement analysis. So I could quote one example here, like which one of the team has um, feeded 300 user stories, okay, into an AI engine. The tool flagged over 90 for missing validation criteria and highlighted inconsistencies across stories. It also grouped similar stories for test reusability opportunities. So this is actually very beneficial for business analysts as well as QA developers and the entire product hierarchy. Okay, to help bring clarity and better test alignment. Moving on. Okay, we're at the second phase of STLC, which is test planning. So test planning is not just about writing documents or maintaining a clear strategy of how we're going to test and what actually it involves. It's about actually making the best choices. What to test first, which areas are risky, what gets automated. So if we can consider these aspects and incorporate early into the test planning will be more successful as we move on. So AI here helps by analyzing code churn, past bug patterns, and integration maps to highlight hotspots. It's like having a risk radar. Okay, let's say an example. Uh, we have a um, task of validating or completing the quality checks or testing a product in a specified time. Okay, however, due to lack of availability of resources or availability of team or availability of proper environment, due to whatever factors, okay, we have limited time, but the volume of effort our test cases is very huge. So in such cases, it's always beneficial to adopt to risk-based testing. Okay, identify the most riskiest functionalities and then adopt it into testing. See, as part of, I would also like to put one more example. There is something called Pareto analysis. So as per that analysis, what it proves is 80% of the defects or issues occurs from the 20% of the functionality. So all these risky identification is today made easier and less cumbersome with the involvement of AI. Okay, moving on to. We're on the third stage of STLC, which is test case design. Uh, so manual test case design is slow and prone to human overlap or bias. AI changes this by suggesting test cases from user stories, wireframes, okay, workflows, or even demos. So all these can be, I mean, AI can generate the stuff. So tools, today we have tools like testing or functionalize. So these learn from historical bugs, behavior flows, and usage of data. So these tools create tests that humans overlook, okay, especially complex and end-to-end user journeys or flows. So these AI-generated tests are always dynamic. So they evolve as the app evolves. This is very I mean, key phase and a success factor for any software testing to be, I mean, mm, productive. Because if the test case design itself is limited and it's not covering the entire application, okay, so it's going to be a leakage issues into production, defects or bugs, whatever it is, it's going to unearth during actual user when the actual user started using it in the production, which is always cost intensive, and it's a question of trust on the organization or team which involved in testing. So test design should always be precise and covering, having 100% coverage. So all the practical real-time scenarios should be incorporated into test design at the right stage. Yeah, moving on. The next phase is test environment setup. So it's been noticed. I mean, test environment is a very critical phase again, because the timely availability of environment for QA before the actual testing phase begins is very important. Okay, any delay in configuring the test data with proper setup of test data, dependencies, like we have a lot of integration aspects like database configuration, browser versions. It's a manifold of issues which we encounter during test environment setup. So if all these things are taken right in the first place, the testers can actually save time. So AI actually integrates with cloud platforms like AWS. It has a full integration and provides or provisions the test environments based on the testing needs, or it adjusts the configurations on the real time based on the usage and user flow we have on the specific environment. So one of the teams integrated with AWS and used AI to speed up the staging environment, okay, and spin up in I mean, very less time, which actually resulted them to cut the QA cycle or QA, I mean, to allow them more time for test execution and avoid any challenges in the environment setup. And optimal test environment is also very key, not just by configuring environments. So how much, what is the user load? Accordingly, if we can, if system can predefine the user load, all the configurations, because today in cloud, everything is configurable and everything is based on the usage and usage. So if there is no real usage or based on the real usage, if the configuration can be done, it can be treated as a optimized test environment. Okay, moving on to, okay, we're on the again test execution, which is the lifeline or heart of entire testing. This is where entire effort which has been spent in our earlier phases will be yielded a productive resolution or result. So execution is no longer just about pass or fail. Okay, with AI, the goal is to test smarter rather than harder. Okay, so AI actually helps in rerunning, re-executing the failed test cases only when needed. So it's all like optimized way of execution. Okay, uh, flagging up the flaky or ambiguous or incomplete tests. Okay, reorders test based on risk. AI also generates differential reports detecting anomalies. Okay, here we could see like self-healing scripts adopt to UI changes. So there are algorithms, machine learning, NLP algorithms, which uses the scripts to automatically adopt based on the UI changes which happen release by release. Okay, like let's say for example a specific portion of the web portal has got changed, so the relevant automation test cases okay, are being chosen, and the intensity and focus is more I mean increased attention towards the impacted changes of the UI. So okay, it's not that equally distributing our efforts. Okay, it is distributing the efforts based on the priority and requirement. Okay, smart selection we just discussed. The selection of test scripts happens based on the code changes. Okay, the same, even the regression test cases. It is AI powered. There are AI powered tools and algorithms again, which actually auto triggers the regression based on the impacted areas. Okay, not just by prioritizing. I mean, it happens by prioritizing, but not just by a traditional way of equally distributing and making sure everything is done right in the first place. Okay, and one example in test execution, we could, I mean, one quote we could, I mean, remember or note is: a failing test case is not always a bug, but it's always a signal for us to focus and listen better. Moving ahead. All right. So this is the last phase of STLC, which is like test closure. So here we actually, I mean, the testers actually summarizes what was done, what went well, and what are the key metrics, which areas were involved, and what are the most error-prone areas that were identified, which needs further follow-up and further remediation. So AI at this stage does not just help test; it also helps the story of what was tested. Okay, closure reports can now fully automated using AI, like generating test coverage maps, risk metrics. There are a lot of metrics here which can be generated using AI, or which is already integrated. Most of them are integrated with Jira tool itself. So also suggesting root cause heat maps, recommendations for the next release or sprint. So this turns the test closure from a formality into a strategic insight session. So it's always a continuous learning, right? It's a continuous learning. Even the agile tells like it's an incremental and continuous learning. Okay? So whatever is being observed in this entire cycle of STLC for a specific release are always a correcting and measuring steps for the subsequent releases to make it more better and improved version. Right. So this is about defect management. Okay. This is actually part of test execution on a broader scale. Okay. This is not necessarily to be treated as a separate AI, I mean STLC phase as such. So here too, there are great benefits of using AI, like AI with AI, the defect triaging can be reduced because it always clusters the bugs. Okay, identified the bugs, and based on the comments or commits that been taken care in any system like Jira or ALM tool. Okay, it can suggest who has created, from which team this guy belongs to, and appropriately an email, sending an email notification to the development team and the product owner. So the triage happens automatically and without necessarily connecting together and being spent as a team. So the basic work is being taken care. Organizing work is being taken care by AI in this defect management process. Okay, so the way how we should look is not just logging bugs. Okay, it's also actually intelligently managing them. AI, again, one real-time metrics which I could gather from by browsing some of the internet is like there is a tremendous benefit of using AI, especially in triage meetings. Okay, it actually brought down the time being spent by partner firms and partner teams on triage activities to gradually reduce to approximately around 50 to 60% of the effort has been cut short. All right. So here ends the STLC life cycle. But we have a few more slides which also talks about we could put together some of the, this is very important slide which gives what all tools are available in market. These are not just limited to this, but we could put together there are plenty of tool stack available for each phase of the STLC. But here you could take an advantage of this slide. Okay, and if you could start implementing or sharing with any of your friends, like this greatly helps everybody who is into this particular domain of software testing. Okay, we could put together like this is the complete tool ecosystem which is rapidly evolving, but here are some of the categories. I mean, popular AI tools and key capabilities at each stage. Okay, I would suggest people who are relevant to QA to consider this as a and consider this tool stack and start piloting at least one AI powered tool into your projects this year. So it will be a great investment from quality perspective. All right, team, just moving ahead. Okay, so these are the challenges and considerations for AI. So as we all know, AI is still evolving, although it's a lot of buzzword in today's world. There are still some underlying challenges within AI. So AI behaves like a human brain. So the more we train the, and that too with the accurate data, the better it benefits the projects or people. So AI is not without challenges. Okay, obviously we have challenges are some of the open issues which are not having any clear resolution at all. So trust issues, right? How, I mean, how reliable is AI for all the decisions? These are all like known challenges, not just limited to software testing lifecycle, but everywhere wherever AI is there, there are still open questions to most extent, like how reliable AI decisions are. So it's always vigilant to have a sampling of data and validate human intervention and presence. Okay, only then it's wise to certify the quality. And data privacy issues. Okay, today there are website portals where it allows people or teams to upload data and produce the output end result what is desirable to us. But there is always a question of privacy, how those third party systems are going to use or play with our data. So these are all like known issues, not a major concern as such, but it's always uh, keep this in mind while we make best advantage of AI in our day-to-day life. Okay, and some of the challenges from resourcing perspective is like skill gap. Okay, there are still there is a understanding that need to be bridged. There are not like enough for people are get started using in this AI. So the early the people adopt, the more benefits they will see in their career growth and project benefits, right? Even the tool maturity is also still evolving. Okay. So go with caution, keeping these in mind to get the optimized benefits. Yeah, I'm just moving forward. So here are some of the proven best practices. So in general, okay, not only limited to AI, but in general, these are some of the best practices that can be taken note about. So start small. Okay, always pilot on one module or phase before actually making a large move. So that the customers will have confidence, both us and the customers will have confidence on how we're approaching, and the data is always proven. So keep testers in the loop, always validate AI suggestions as we discussed, train the teams. Okay, even basic machine learning understanding helps. So upskilling is very important for a successful career growth. And always define the success of your deliverables. Um, Create KPIs, key performance indicators, and there are a lot of metrics under KPIs like defect leakage, cycle turnaround time, okay, sprint velocity, or return on investment factors. Okay, so all these are key success factors that need to be keeping in mind and move forward. Again, team, AI is as good as the data as we feed it. Okay, so it always depends on what is being, how it is being trained and what data. So these are some of the key terminology or aspects if we could keep in mind. There are a lot of evolving tools available in market. The early we start, when the team start using, we can ripe better and bigger benefits. Moving ahead. Okay, here we have the future of AI. So we're not just heading forward, but we're actually making conscious and self-evolving movement. Okay, which is like introduction of autonomous testing agents, real-time test generation during deployments. So yeah, I'm just reading what's there on the slide, like fully integrated CI/CD with AI-assisted quality gates. So what these define is like predictive defect alerts, more targeted, okay, and eventually autonomous quality assurance is the end output. So let's imagine a system that detects code risk as you type, suggests test in real time, and even auto deploys releases or mitigations. Yeah, it may sounds like a scientific movie, but it's all the future is here. Maybe in a matter of 5 years vision, all these things will be very practical and I mean, right at the very common for around our areas and projects. So we must evolve from test executors to test strategists. Yeah, as a human life itself is an evolving factor, right? The same applies to all the technologies and trends. What was trending a few years back is no more in trend. We all know, like, okay, even that's how our resumes profiles keeps modifying and updating, right? Yeah, here is a quick summary on what we have gone through so far in this meeting or during this time. So the STLC, software testing lifecycle, is ready for disruption. AI brings speed, scale, and smartness to every phase. Real world tools are already delivering tangible value. The future is not automated, it's intelligent. So reduces manual effort and increases coverage, improves quality. A lot of times, human there is a limitation in what we read, what we learn, and how we capture the data. So those limitations are being addressed with the introduction of AI. So let's all focus on shifting from reactive AI to being proactive and productive and predictive. All right.
Yeah,
Thanks.
awesome, sir.
Yeah, here is the end of the session. But I really appreciate all your patience and time in being attentive and focused. I hope this session is will bring some sort of insight in what this software testing aspect. Uh, okay, I know it's still targeted audience, but people who are interested to learn and or who are already into this field, it should be some quick recap on the AI aspects. Okay, and I would like to hear on your thoughts and questions or feedback. As Raj mentioned, like okay, once you receive the feedback things, link, please be
Yeah,
candid in providing your feedback. It's always helps us in making more productive sessions in future. And I am very thankful for Raj for the mediation moderation you have been, and Eva for taking these initiatives, selflessly trying to bring these knowledge sharing sessions to the whole, making it open for everyone is a great initiative. I know how much pain and management effort is required, and really appreciate and wish you all the best in to the entire Eva team. Okay, thank you
yeah,
for
and
giving me
we
this
have,
opportunity.
yeah, thank you so much, Venkat sir. And we have like two questions. Before that, I have my question. Um, and before I put down my question, I just wanted to check with the participants again. If anybody has got their questions, feel free to unmute and speak. Or if you submitted in the link which is provided in the chat, um, just raise your hand. The first question which I have, Venkat sir, again, this is from the market and the fear, mainly regarding the job cuts and layoffs. So my first question would be, as AI tools are reducing the testing efforts and time for everybody, so should organizations rethink workforce planning in QA, or probably will there be more job cuts? Because I heard, even recently I read a news article where Microsoft did lots of layoffs in US for the team who built their AI tools, but again they rehired them. The same case in IBM is what I read somewhere for publishing content. But please share us your real time experience in terms of what is going to be like maybe 1 year down the line, because we know it's 10 years of growth can be seen in 1 year now with these tools. But please share us your real time insights, sir.
Yeah, sure. That's definitely a very bothering question for every one of us, right? That's a good question, though. See, all I would say, like, just putting it very simple, is let's not allow AI control us. Okay, we should control AI. I mean, see, the usage of AI is like an assistant to us. Okay, let's not give, sacrifice to AI as such. Okay, or surrender to AI. We should still control the AI in and making sure our job is done perfect in lesser time span and more efficient than doing alone. I mean, that's how I would put together. And the other aspect of technology disruption in current world is like it's not limited to AI, right? Any technology that comes, okay, it goes with a lot of booming speed, and there are a lot of fear factor, hearsay, okay, which will also result in some concerns, okay. But actually, um, nothing can replace human intervention and human intelligence, okay. All these are tools which are assisting our jobs. And that's how I would say. I mean, if I
Okay,
hope it's
thank
clear.
thank you, sir. And so this is again from one of the participants. Yeah. So do you see AI eventually taking over end-to-end test management, or will human oversight always be essential? Again, something close to what you
Hmm.
just
Exactly.
answered, but
Exactly. I mean, definitely. See, AI helps us in making things right and efficient in the first place. Okay, it also improves the productivity of actual QA instead of just spending on manual associate or human being doing the job perfect, which will obviously have oversights. See, human we operate. It depends on our health, the mood, and the availability and interest on a specific day. But whereas systems, they are tireless, right? They are tireless. They don't need breaks. So their way of working is definitely more efficient. But at the same time, they cannot replace human intelligence. Okay? Though with the introduction of neural networks, deep learning, so all these like computer linguistics. I mean, this is all like evolving technologies, but I would still strongly believe like human intervention, human intelligence is superior, far superior, which we all have to agree.
thank you,
Yeah,
sir. Thank you so much.
no
And
problem.
the other question, probably this will be the last one here, unless somebody puts in a chat. So how will the role of these QA engineers evolve, sir, like in the next couple of years? Um, how AI becomes more dominant in whatever you just shared in the software life cycle of testing?
Sure. See, one thing is very clear. AI usage of AI is inevitable. Okay, so there is no such role in future within software development life cycle or STLC or anywhere that we could bypass AI and do on our own, because the organizations are seeing larger benefit of adopting to AI and bringing AI into their work streams and product development. So it is inevitable to adopt or to make use of AI to any extent. I mean, so the early the someone any one of us, I mean, the early we all start using AI, the larger benefits and more convenience and will be there in our jobs.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you uh, for these great insights. Anybody else? Uh, participants from this webinar, Dr. C.H. Rambabu Garu, Hemant.
Hey Raj,
Yeah, Hemant.
this is
Yeah,
Hemant here.
please go ahead.
Thanks for Eva for hosting this wonderful session with Venkat, which he has given a wonderful insights for this QA strategies for the complete STLC cycle with this AI leveraging. The slide which he has mentioned for all the complete tools that has helped a lot for gaining insight for multiple tools where AI is leveraged. That slide is very wonderful, which has given the insights for AI for STLC process. Thank you. Thanks,
Thank
Venkat,
you.
for this.
Thank you, Hemant Garu, for highlighting that. Yes, sir. The landscape, the slide, the tools landscape slide, I guess that's an extra edge in case if it's executed well, if we know what to uh, use it for or how to leverage it. I'm sure most of us can double or triple our numbers uh, with HR if we know how to use those tools. So thank you, Hemant, for highlighting for that, sir. Any other participants? Yeah, ma'am. Shima, Priyanka,
Thanks, Hemant.
Swatiji, Vishnuvardhan, Anjanelu, uh, HK Solanki ji, CH Nagasatish. Anybody else? Any questions? Please feel free to unmute. Okay. So I guess that would be it from sir. Basically, I would like to thank once again, sir, from all the participants who participated here. I extend a heartfelt thank you to Mr. Venkat Sudhir Kohli for such an insightful and thought-provoking session. We do have the replay on YouTube. The link is also in our WhatsApp status, or it'll be shared in the socials. But again, thank you, sir, for this quite informative session. So, though it's a very little time, this can be a mini course as well. We all know that it can be a mini course as well, and we have a participant who is joining in now. But there could be lots of real world examples or the tools which can be taken into another session. And um, Venkat Sudhir sir's social, or probably he's available on LinkedIn also, with the full name as Venkat Sudhir Kohli.
Yeah.
If anybody can drop in the LinkedIn link, that'll be great. Or probably you can drop in, sir, where people can connect with you, and for any insights, they can connect with you over LinkedIn. But the message is quite clear. AI is not going to replace testers, or there will not be many job cuts again. We need to keep upskilling ourselves. So it's going to elevate our game. It's going to empower the key takeaways which are there. Yeah, there you go. In the chat, we have the direct link to stay connected. So we are grateful for your time, sir, and thanks for the efforts which you have put in to this session. We've been waiting for this session for over 3 weeks. Most of us know this, because anything with AI, probably there should be another session on AI agents, sir, because that's a hot topic which is going on, mainly in terms of automation. Many people which I know, they're not building this website, they're integrating workflow automations with chatbots. So AI agents is doing a wonderful job there. So, but thanks for sharing your expertise with all of us, sir, with more clarity and passion. So thanks again for the entire team, Eeva, and probably we'll see bits of shots from this particular webinar. You'll see that on our social handles. But thank you, everybody for joining in, and thank you, sir. Thank you so much, and
Yeah, thanks
please stay
much.
connected.
Sure,
Yes, sir.
thanks much, team. Definitely, I mean, we'll plan for more such useful insight sessions. Okay, let's hear back from our team who attended today. If there are any inputs, we'll make sure those are incorporated to make it better in our future sessions too. And yeah, it's like really great for Eeva doing these sessions. Okay, I'm keeping in view of larger benefits to the I mean, to the open world, right here, everyone.
Yeah,
Great.
mainly to
Thanks,
the
Raj,
startup
for your
community.
energy. Okay, you maintain the same energy levels since the day one when we met. Okay, so yeah, it's pleasure to have you here as a moderator for all these sessions. Okay, that
Thank you.
keeps us very lively. These sessions are makes it lively, especially with your presence. Irrespective of
Thank
who's
you.
the speaker is, you always make sure it goes in live spirit. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Wish you all the best as well, Eva, you and entire team here.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, and everybody, please do join us next Wednesday for another insightful session on our weekly webinar Wednesdays. Thank you, Venkat sir. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, team. Take care.